that everyone is talking about at this very moment. Ghana's youngest lawyer. At age 21, Nana Dankwa J. Domson Esquire, exactly a week ago, he was called to the Ghana Bar. And since then, a lot of conversations happening. Guess what? Nana Dankwa is in the studio this morning to have a conversation. Nana, good to see you, and it's a pleasure. Congratulations. Today's exactly a week you were called to the Ghana Bar.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
Last week by this time, I'm sure you must be getting ready to be part of that ceremony where with other hundreds of lawyers you were going to call to the bar. What was going through your mind exactly a week ago around the same time?
Okay, last week by this time, I think I was already at the auditorium. We had to come early to sign the rule.
Right.
And so I was already there. I mean, I was eager to be called. It was an unexplainable feeling.
Right.
To finish law school, and it's a big day. So having that day truly come to pass was something memorable for me.
And yes, it was an unexplainable feeling for you. But I'm sure the overnights on the eve of you being called to the bar, there were a number of preparations you had done.
Yeah.
Did you have butterflies in your tummy?
Oh, yes.
Why did you have butterflies in your tummy? I mean, you know very well that you're the youngest person to be called to the bar. Why were you feeling that way?
I didn't know I was the youngest person to be called to the bar. So it was not a deliberate goal. It wasn't something I actually set out to do. I was not aware of it. It was until the event had been completed that the news came out that I was the youngest, but it wasn't something I was thinking about. My mind at the time was, wow, this school has drilled me.
It has.
So let me just finish. So that was what was in my thoughts the night before the event.
Yes, congratulations again. And you bear a national title as Ghana's youngest lawyer at age 21. Now let's go behind the inspiration behind law. Many were asking at the age of 21, what will it really inspire you? Because you just didn't start reading law at the age of 21. It started from a much younger age. So for a lot of individuals, they want to really understand your inspiration. Where did you get that motivation from to first and foremost decide that, look, this is the career path I'm going to chart?
I would start by saying God was my huge inspiration. Secondly, my parents. My parents instilled in me the desire to always be hungry, to take up new challenges. And so that was the driving force right from, I think, class 3. Class 3, I developed the hunger for excellence. So with everything I did, I had that desire to keep pushing, keep going, to break the limits, keep pushing. I didn't accept limits that had been placed by society. I thought that, okay, if somebody did it, then I can also do it. I don't think I'm the first youngest person. There are other people who are doing big things elsewhere, in China, in Singapore, all over the world. People are making great strides. So seeing these examples also inspired me to keep pushing. So it was never a consciousness in my mind that I'm young. All I thought was take up new challenges and keep pushing.
Right, that's interesting. You mentioned that you were also competing with the rest of the world, not just in Ghana, and it was an inspiration for you. I mean, around the world, you can see young.
Myself.
You were competing with yourself. Most importantly, I mean, across the world, you see young people making a lot of waves in tech, in agriculture, in technology, and you were able to find that inspiration first and foremost from yourself and also the circumstances around you. You mentioned that you didn't allow some limitations of society to hold you. What are some of those limitations? Can you just share some of us?
I would say I wouldn't call it limitation.
But growing up, what are some of the things that you had that could have, derail you from charting this path?
That tag, Usa. You are young. And I don't know if it's a cultural orientation, but you have even people who are 45 being told they are young. So there's always that thing, okay, I'm young, let me just relax. So it wasn't something I entertained. I'm not young. I'm very good.
And where were these calls coming from? Was it from family, from friends, from your environment, from your community? Where exactly were they coming from?
Family. I had a lot of support from family. So I think it was from people that saw me climb through the staircase, that journey. And so you have people saying, okay, you are young. In any case, I remember when even the entrance exams after law school, after your LLB, you write an entrance exam before you are accepted into the Ghana School of Law. So I remember, and that entrance exam is a very dicey one. You have people repeating, writing twice, thrice, and all that. So I remember people telling me that, okay, I mean, if you fail cry, you are still young. If you go the exams, you are still young. But I didn't allow that to seep through my subconscious. I rejected that and I kept pushing. So some of these things, you have them coming, that you are young, you can wait. I mean, it happens in politics. You are young, so you wait, let this one go. I mean, you have these things coming. And I think it's something that if you really follow, it will hinder your progress. It will stop you from climbing and going further like you have imagined. Chasing your dreams is one of the limitations to your dreams as a young African.
That you're young, and many people must have heard that word, that refrain, that you're young. You know, and it really strike a chord with me that young people also die and old people die. So if you're young and you want to pursue your dream, you need to go all out because you don't have so much time.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
Exactly.
And you might not be on the surface of earth. So it's very important you are able to drum home that point. Now, let's go to Brema Esikuma, where it all started for you. What was life there like?
Oh, Brema Esikuma was a lovely place. Brema Esikuma was where I learned the value of family. I saw true hospitality. So they are very nice people. They accepted me. Everybody's family. So you see the true African communitarianism in these townships. Unlike the city where you have that individualistic culture, everybody is as his corner. But in Brema Esikuma, everybody showed concern for my welfare. That, oh, if you need help, you need this, you can come to me, rush to me. And that is where I was persuaded to also stay there in school. It was this love that was shown to me that propelled me to stay there in school. And so I stayed there in school. At the time I was in Form 1. So at Form 1 is where I tried the BEC. So I passed the BEC.
That's Form 1.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, in Form 1.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Because usually you expect people to write the BEC in Form 2, for instance, and they join the Form 3s when they're in Form 2 and write the BEC. But you wrote yours in Form 1.
Yes,
you must be brilliant.
God's grace.
just own it. That's quite interesting, Nana. And once you were in that community, Esikuma, for instance, and you mentioned that communal labor played a critical role in ensuring that you become the person you are today. Everybody showed concern. They were always there for you, lending a hand of assistance and guiding you every step of the way. It's interesting. But when you started school in that community, did you feel like coming to the Greater Accra region because you must have heard that, okay, maybe the best schools are in Greater Accra and you wanted to be there? But what made you stay in Esikuma and say that, well, you're going to cut your teeth here in terms of education before you move on?
So I schooled in Accra for some time.
Okay.
And usually long vacations, I would visit my hometown for long vacations and attend vacation classes over there. So it's something right from childhood I had become accustomed to. Okay, so when I made the decision to school there, it didn't come as a hard decision. It was something I already have an experience in, and so I took it as a challenge, and I liked variety of experiences. I like that cultural relativism. So enjoy here small. That blend of it also helped me, and I enjoyed my time in primary school.
You enjoyed your time. Well, if you've just tuned in, this is the Asaase Breakfast Show, and we're having a conversation with the youngest lawyer in this country at age 21. Nana Dankwa Eje was called to the bar exactly a week today, and he's here in the flesh in the studio, and we're having this conversation trying to understand his life, where it all started from at Isikuma, for instance, the formative years where he cut his teeth and where he kept his focus. There were many who, when your story broke on social media, they were asking a lot of questions. Is he a special kid? Is there anything particularly unique about you? Because at the age of 12, you completed JHS, right? Is that correct?
Exactly, it's correct.
Exactly. And people were asking, Akolano way, or yes, I'm very way. Is there any specific things you did that help you stay ahead of the pack?
I'll first state that I'm not any special student. I'm an ordinary Ghanaian. And so I didn't start off as a bright student. Class 1, class 2, I think in some of class 2 I was trailing 31st. I had been 31st before. And
out of how many students?
30 something. So
oh, okay.
I was almost last.
You were around. If you can really, clarify that again.
31st out of a number of, I don't think we were 40 at the time. So I have records of me being trailing in class. Okay, so I didn't start off as any bright student, but what really did the turning point for me was, I would say that my mom, so homeschooling, my mom would sit me down and teach me. She would school me. I mean, she said, come on, so if you have the back of her slippers watching you with the side eye, no one will tell you to steady. So my mom homeschooled me. She groomed me up. She taught me how to be disciplined. She taught me how to be consistent. She instilled in me that sense of excellence, to pursue excellence. So from class 3, class 4, that is when I made that decision to go for that goal, to always pursue excellence. So for me, first is the mindset. A mindset that shuns mediocrity. That with everything you are doing, strive to be excellent. There's no limit. If you have done this, don't be fine with this. It can be better. So always on the move to be excellent did the magic for me.
That's interesting. I'm here and I was thinking that, it all started rosy, but you are telling us that, look, it wasn't a soft bed of roses. There were some, ups and downs over there. And it's very important that you're able to drum home that point. Let's talk about law school. Did you feel intimidated, or did some of your classmates make you feel like you didn't belong here, and because you're the youngest, maybe, or you looked young?
So, in law school, not many people knew I was that young.
Okay. Well, you didn't look it.
I didn't behave like that.
Right.
I behaved very composed. So I really had, people really admired me, So not many people thought I was that young. But the pressure from law school for me that made me feel young was not people telling me I was young, but how people carry themselves in the study of the law. So you have people telling you that they sleep only 4 hours. And so that really worried me, or had me thinking that am I really cut out for this? Because I can't sleep for only 4 hours. And I would sleep for 8 hours, 9 hours, and I'll ask myself if I'm really a law student. So the pressure from law school was not the fact that I felt people were bigger than I, but the sense of academic pressure I was feeling.
You mentioned the role that your mother, for instance, played in your upbringing. She, instilled in you the sense of excellence, try to be on time, punctuality, and all of those things. Did you have any other mentors or other inspirers besides your mother that helped made your journey in law school worthwhile?
My lecturers, I had amazing lecturers in UCC. They were amazing, and I really appreciate them. They were also my mentors. They were my mentors, and from afar, I'm everybody's mentor. Sort of, Chachi Chikata was a great source of inspiration for me.
Did you ever meet him?
I've never met him before, but in law school, when I feel overwhelmed and tired, and that urge to give up, I'll just go on YouTube, type Chachu's documentary or Chachu's presentation, watch Chachu's videos, and I'll be alive again. So that was it for me.
What about Chachu's story really inspired your journey?
So Chachu also began. He was also he was also young when he began this course. He was young. Chachu was also Christ-centered. Chachu was very humble. Chachu speaks so well. I mean, Chachu is a luminary. So how he carried himself really inspired me in my journey.
If you were to meet him today, what would you tell him, for instance? But are you hoping to meet him anytime soon?
I would love to. I'm hoping.
And what would be your message to him? If he should be listening right now, what would be your message to Chachu Chikata?
I would say that thank you for being a blessing to many and not holding back.
Now, okay, so you mentioned your mentors and your inspirers who actually helped you on the journey. What advice would you give to young students who believe age is a limit for their potential?
Do not say you are young. Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young.
Right.
But set an example. We are called to set examples as young people. There's no time to waste. Arise.
There's no time to wait. Arise. And we're having a conversation with Ghana's youngest lawyer at age 21, Nana Dankwa. He's in the studio at this moment, and he was called to the Ghana Bar exactly a week ago, and we're trying to understand his life, his career. Well, that is just about starting and all there is to know about the man. And you look very serious, very pensive. Do you have, a life outside law school when you're in school, for instance? Were you clubbing? Were you hanging out with friends? Were you in the court?
Oh, yes. I would hang out with friends once in a while. And usually after exams, we'll go to the beach to distress. And I also do graphic design. I do art. So I use my art to distress. And I think that's it. Football also helps me distress, especially on weekends.
Okay. Which team do you support? English team, I'm asking. Yeah.
Blue is the color, football is the game.
No, say that again. I didn't hear. Louder for the people at the back room.
Blue is the color, football is the game. Chelsea.
Oh, Lord. Well, I have my own reservations about Chelsea. I have a soft spot for Manchester United, so we're rivals.
That's unfortunate.
Really unfortunate for me. Right, so now you've been called to the Ghana Bar. What is next for you? Which area of law are you going to specialize in? Because I'm told that in law school you do everything. Exactly. Then in practice, you decide where you want to go.
Exactly.
Where are you going to specialize?
I hope to do something that is commercial law related. Commercial law and AI.
Commercial law and AI. Why?
AI is the future.
Okay.
AI is the future. And commerce runs the world. And so I think these would give me that opportunity to impact my own society better.
Do you think that with the level of AI penetration in this country, the legal system or the legal education in this country has employed and tried to integrate it into its day-to-day activities? And what would be your advice if there isn't any?
I think I think we are gradually getting there, I know of Kwame AI. They are into legal. It's an AI that helps law students, lawyers. And so we are gradually getting there. But I'm sure we can do better. We can do better. Because the storm is coming. The storm is coming. We can do better. Yes.
Right. And I didn't hear you talk about your father, but your father is very known, former MCA, right?
Former DC.
Former DC. And you haven't mentioned about him. He's a politician. Do you also have plans of venturing into politics?
I don't like politics, but I like to serve. I have that instinct to serve, but I don't like politics.
Well, you don't. What do you mean? You don't like? You want to say you don't like partisan politics?
Yeah, or partisan? Exactly. Forgive me. Partisan politics. I believe that, I don't know, we could have a system that collaborates. If there's any word like that, the collaborative politics. I like collaborative politics.
But why don't you like partisan politics? Is there a specific reason why you don't fancy partisan politics?
I think it derails our progress as a people. It's too violent and is a weapon for division, sort of. So that even if you are in party A and you have that expertise, that would help the country move forward. Because party B is in power, party B would not consider you as that skill-oriented or that as having the competence to do that work. And even internally, there's also that problem. So you didn't support candidate A. Candidate B has become the flag bearer, and because you are in candidate A, candidate B coming into power, he'll think that because he supported candidate A, you're not competent enough to do the work,
right,
when actually it is not. So I think that it's good, but when we do it too much,
the polarization.
So we should look at it. I think it's something Nkrumah had. It was that mindset he had when he decided some time past that he would collaborate with all the parties at the time, but they also didn't agree with him. And that is what led to the one party states. He was also very ambitious. One thing led to the other, and
one thing led to the other. My last but one question, because we have to go and bring you the latest in the world of business. The NDC has indicated that they want to reform legal education in this country. I'm sure you must have heard certain things from their camp. What do you make of that in terms of how people get into the law school? They're trying to remove the bottlenecks.
It's laudable. I think it's a brilliant proposal. I think if we can implement it, it would help.
What is it about the current system that you think that implementing these reforms would shift the needle?
So the entry. Too many people are left behind. But with the current system, it allows merit-based qualification as a lawyer. But people have raised the concern that it will lead to overpopulation of lawyers in the country. That's something we should look at. And I think what is also important, or an addition that the government should also consider, is how we could integrate AI into the current legal education. That would also help.
It's very interesting, and I have to squeeze this question in. You talked about overpopulation of lawyers in this country, and in the recent graduation being called to the bar, there was that conversation on social media. I'm sure you have seen some that Ghana is producing more lawyers than they are producing people who are going into agriculture. They are producing more lawyers than doctors. What do you make of that conversation?
I think, the comparison that doesn't do for me. Like comparing stones to, I don't know. But we all have our parts to play in the country. Let's understand that we all have our parts to play in this country. Let's not devalue anybody's occupation. The lawyer is as important as the farmer. The teacher is as important as the doctor. We all have our rules. There are rules lawyers play in the country. dating back to 1894, 1897, when the Lands Bill came and the Queen wanted to take freelance, in quotes, freelance in Ghana. Lawyers, in addition to businessmen and chiefs, championed the cause to prevent that from happening. So we all have our parts to play. So when we collaborate, when we join hands and push Ghana's development agenda forward, that would help. So let's not compare each other.
And does overpopulation of lawyers help the country anyway?
I don't think we are overpopulated. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. There are many I think the ratio of lawyers to the population of Ghana is still very wide. So I don't agree with that. I think that what we can do is to sensitize people about the need for lawyers so that the market woman on the streets of Makol understands the value of having a lawyer. When that happens, everybody would understand why I need a lawyer, because once you have daily activities, you need a lawyer to assist you navigate through these activities. And so that sensitization would help.
Then finally, how do you want history to remember you? In the next 10 years, where do you see yourself and how would you want to be remembered?
I see myself joining hands with like-minded individuals to champion progress and change in Ghana.
Are we likely to see you in politics, maybe party A, party B? Which party do you fancy?
I told you I don't like party politics. I don't like party politics.
Okay.
I don't like party politics.
You don't have any?
Currently, I don't have any affiliation.
You're not a sympathizer of any?
I'm not a sympathizer of any.
Right, that's a safe answer. Right, Nana Dankwa AJ Domson Esquire, many thank you for your time. And indeed, thanks for gracing our studio this morning. I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much.
I'll be here. If you need any support from Asaase Radio, you know that we're always here to give it to you every step of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for honoring our invitation and coming to share your stories with us. I'm sure that many Ghanaians out there, young individuals who want to venture into law, will be inspired and also to that path. And yes, so all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.